Time now for the Geico 15. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save. Speaking of saving, the San Francisco 49ers saving their season. After a 3-5 start, the 49ers have won 3 in a row, ultimately putting themselves in the playoff picture. San Francisco facing another tough test this week on the road at Seattle, where they'll be without star receiver Deebo Samuel. He's out this week because of a groin strain, but he could return next week. Deebo having a monster season, just the third player in NFL history to record 1,000 receiving yards, 5 rushing touchdowns, and 5 receiving touchdowns in the same season. And we now welcome in 49ers star receiver Deebo Samuel. Deebo, thanks for joining us. I know you want to be out there with your team this week, but how frustrating is it to be dealing with an injury when you're playing well and your team is playing well?
It's really frustrating. That's why as you go back and watch the play, I kind of sat there for a while because I got to thinking about all the things, all the past injuries, and was just, what I'm saying, hoping that it wasn't bad. And, we're playing very well as a team. And not only me went down, but you got Fred Warner, who went down, is kind of day to day, but you have other guys that, bringing the pieces together to this team and maybe out this game. So, I was out there practice today with all the guys, just motivating and just making sure that we continue to be and play at the top tier that we've been playing these past 3 weeks.
All right, so can we expect to see you back out there week 14?
Of course. This only gonna take a week, so we'll be back next week.
All right, there you have it. We'll see Deebo right back quick on the field week 14 against the Bengals. That's a big game as well. You have been a one-man wrecking crew. You've got 5 rushing touchdowns this season, most rushing touchdowns by a wide receiver in a season in 60 years. Deebo, when you get the football, what are you thinking?
I've always been taught growing up. My father was my football coach until I got to the 7th grade when I got to middle school. One thing that he always instilled in me was, whenever you get the ball, try to put the ball in the end zone and don't allow one person to tap you. So, that's just been something that always stayed with me, and that's just how I go out there and approach the game.
Would you rather catch a touchdown or rush for a touchdown?
Preferably catch it, but I can do both. I've been doing both all my life. So in high school, I played mostly running back, and then when I got to college, I transferred to be the wide out. So it's just whatever the coaches need me to do. I'm just go out there and just do the best I can at it.
He's an absolute dynamo. How's this for a stat? You have been everywhere for the 49ers this season, accounting for 29% of the team's offense this season. Only Jonathan Taylor for the Colts accounts for more at 34%. Most importantly, you're winning. The 3-game winning streak started against the Rams on Monday night. I was playing against you in fantasy. You crushed me that night, and you got the big old chain right there, which is beautiful. Tell me about that.
The chain comes from Jason Verrett. He had got it for the team week 1, but sadly he had got hurt, and so he brought it to the team. I would say about a month ago. It was like a playmaker turnover chain. So Once I scored the second touchdown, I seen Rob over there. He's like, you should put the chain on. So I was like, all right, cool. So I put the chain on, and it ended up being a good big deal. So shout out to Jason for the chain for the team.
I love the chain. What have you heard from people about your dominance in fantasy?
Me personally, I don't even get all into that. I'm not even gonna lie. I don't know nothing about no fantasy football. All I see is fans and everybody talking about what I've done for their team. But I don't read too much into it, to be honest.
Yeah, I hear you. But I'll tell you what, man, you crushed me that night against the Rams. So good on you for helping the fantasy managers out on that night. Your quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo, has significantly improved over this hot streak. He's changed the narrative that he's not just a placeholder. Since his first start for San Francisco in 2017, he's got a 700 winning percentage. That's higher than Aaron Rodgers. How would you describe Jimmy G, the guy battle alongside versus the public perception?
Kind of since I've been here, I've known Jimmy to be a winner. And coming back in OTAs this offseason, I've seen a different type of Jimmy for as being a leader, ball placement, just getting the team together. And it's been showing this year. And like these past 3 weeks, it's just been, he's been playing lights out. We've been running the ball well and just clicking on all cylinders, offense, defense, and even special teams. It was a big special teams play we had against Jacksonville towards, almost the end of the game, and kind of changed things again. So, kudos to special teams and just offense and defense just flying around, just playing 40 down the ball.
I know he loves having you to be able to throw the football to or hand the football to because, again, you have been an absolute bowling ball with the football. And your birth name is Tyshawn, but your father nicknamed you Debo after the character in the iconic movie Friday. Tell us the story, how you got the nickname and how it has stuck all these years.
Well, my dad gave me the nickname when I say about 6 years old. He told me that I used to like to fight and like take stuff from kids when I was little, so he gave me the nickname. And you know what I'm saying, as being like that young, I didn't really know too much about Friday until like growing up, and then I watched it probably to this day probably like a million times. But I actually had a chance to meet Tiny Lester I would say my rookie year, and you know, he's a really cool guy. Sorry that he passed, but funny story was growing up when I graduated high school, my mom was like, you know, they're not going to call you Debo anymore. You know, they know your name is Tyshawn. And then when I got to college, they were still calling me that. And then she was like, why is they calling you that? I was like, I don't know, Mom. I ain't telling.
That's a great story. That's a great story. Well, you're making Debo proud and all of Niners Nation proud. All right, time now for the Geico 15-second statement. Debo, give us a bold statement for the rest of the season for you and the 49ers.
Niners back to the Super Bowl, baby. Let's go.
Let's go. Did the 49ers win the Super Bowl? They're 6th.
Yes, sir.
There it is. There it is. Clip that off. Debo Samuel and the 49ers winning the Super Bowl. How about that? You played in it a few years ago. You got your first taste of it. Man, what would that mean to you if you got back there?
Oh, it's going to mean everything. We just got to go out there and just finish the deal this time. We fell short 2 years ago, and we know what that tastes like. We don't want to taste that again.
Debo Samuel predicting a Super Bowl run for the 49ers. I love it. Debo, appreciate the time. Wish you a speedy recovery. Hope to see you back on the field real soon, my friend.
Thank you so much.
Debo Samuel, an absolute monster this season for the 49ers. They've won 3 in a row, and he'll be out this week against the Seahawks. But you heard him. He expects to be back next week in Week 14. The 49ers-Seahawks game, one of 6 games on CBS this week. San Francisco 4-1 on the road this season, going for their 4th straight win overall. The NFC West matchup kicks off 4:25 Eastern Time on CBS and streaming live on Paramount+.